looking for a fun, fruity, vibrant, and bold look, then this one is for you. Today I have used our Coral Radiance Loose Mineral Blush 3 ways. I've got it on my eyes, my lips, and my cheeks, and it looks absolutely beautiful. If you want this look, stay tuned because I'm going to show you how you can use this Coral Radiance Loose Blush on your eyes, get this really nice metallic look by mixing it with micellar water. It stays on the eyes so well, whether you've got a little bit of water or you're sweating, it just stays put until you use a cleanser to remove it. It's an awesome tip. I've also got it on my cheeks. I've mixed it with a little bit of our Soothing Barrier Balm to give this beautiful dew that you can see and that really nice highlight. I've also mixed it with the Soothing Barrier Balm on my lips to give a really beautiful peachy pout. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is my eyes, and I'm going to use one product on my eyes, my lips, and my cheeks. I'm going to show you all the different ways that you can use this one product. The color I'm talking about is our Coral Radiance Blush. Just to show you how multi-purpose the Adorn products are, this can be used in a variety of ways, dry, wet, or even mixing it with a cream. I've just put a little bit in a lid just so I've got that to work with to make it a little bit easier putting it on my eyes. So what I like to do to give some real intensity is sometimes add a bit of micellar water to my eyeshadow. So what I do is I just put 1 or 2 pumps in the lid, and then I'll use, we've got the number 10 brush here, just a nice flat brush, and I'll just mix it together and then pop it on my eyes for a really nice wet sort of look. Now I'm going to add a little bit more. That's better. Perfect. Just didn't have enough of the eyeshadow. Now, if you just press it down like I am, it just gives a nice metallic look. And what you'll also find is, weirdly, our micellar water locks it down and makes it water and sweat proof. It's just amazing. So I'm just going to keep layering the Coral Radiance blush on my eyelid until I get the right amount of colour. Eyelid colour. You don't have to go all the way up. I've just gone all the way up because I'm going to blend away that seam. So this is a seam just here, that line. So I'm going to blend that away with a fluffy brush in a moment. I've already got my foundation on, and I probably should mention before we get stuck into blending what I've used. So the first product I have used is, of course, our cream wind-up stick. I have used the medium tan color, okay, and I blended that with our really super popular, super soft professional kabuki brush. So it's really buffed that into the skin, giving it a really nice skin-like appearance. Now I have got the peachy sleep under my eyes as well, so just so you know, I have prepared my skin before we got started with the eyes. Okay, so I used the number 10 brush with the Coral Radiance mixed with the micellar water. And now what we want to do, we're happy with the intensity. I just want to get rid of this seam. It looks ridiculous, so we don't want to see this line. We want to blend that away. Now I always keep a blending brush, or what I refer to as a blending brush. This one's number 4 in our white long handle kit, I suppose you would call it. And all I do is keep a brush clean, and it's simply so that I can buff away these seams when I am working with eyeshadow. It's just good to have one that's already clean and use this as your blending brush. So it looks like you've been blending for hours and hours, but look at that, it just seamlessly gets rid of that line. Okay, now what I'm going to do is pop on the cream contour stick, and that is simply just to add some warmth to my skin and to also give some shape. So contouring is excellent if you're someone who really wants to give a nice sort of sharp sort of edge to your jawline or your cheekbones. Maybe you want to minimize the look of your nose. Maybe you want to minimize the look of your forehead, so bring that down. So contouring makes things look darker, which in turn will help another area of the face stand out more. So popping it here gives a sharpness and I suppose, you know, a more obvious cheekbone, a more prominent cheekbone, and running it along there too will just soften any of this excess skin that some of us might have, okay? And just the same with the nose. If you're feeling that that's a little bit broad and you want to bring that in, I simply use the contour product because I like the warmth. I don't like that flat look to my skin that just a foundation will give. Now, if you're wanting to use it for a shaping product, you can use something like our smudge brush, and this is the larger one. And you can use this for more defined contouring or more precise contouring. If you are not too concerned about that and you're wanting to just use it for some warmth, then you can use the wind-up tube directly onto the skin, okay? I'm going to use my large smudge brush simply because I just want to give a little bit more accuracy to where I'm placing it and how much I'm placing. So again, it's all about just feeling what works for you. You know, if you've got a smaller face, you might find using the stick directly on the face, this is too big, but using, say, a brush may give you a little bit more control, especially if you've got a smaller face as opposed to, say, me who's got a slightly larger face. So it's just giving me a little bit more control. You could put a little bit here if you wanted to, just to minimize the width of the nose, and it just gives a nice little sharp sort of peak to the nose just there if you wanted to. Now what I'm going to do is just use my stippling brush. Now you could use our buff and blend brush, you could use our biodegradable blending sponge, you could use your fingers, you could use a kabuki brush, you could use a complexion brush, okay? You could use whatever you wanted to. Now because I want this to be more for warmth, I'm just using my stippling brush just to blend it into my hairline a little bit, just to give a bit of more natural, and also just to help knock out that pigment damage that I've got up there as well. It's made it a little bit more natural than, say, me just pressing it on or using a smaller brush. You could even use, of course, an angle brush and just pat it on so you get that nice sharp contour. But for me, as I said before, it's really just for me to get some warmth onto the skin. Just a very quick contour. Now what I'm going to do is put on, before I finish off my eyes, I'm going to put on the Coral Radiance onto my cheeks, and I'm also going to put it on my lips. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just use a small angle brush. You could do it with your fingers as well if you wanted to. If you just wanted to pat a little bit of the Coral Radiance blush or whatever you've selected, you could use your fingers or you could use a little brush like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop our Soothing Barrier Balm over the top, and it gives it that nice glassy, dewy look to the skin, really healthy and really pretty. So I'm just using our angle brush from the 18-piece brush kit, and it's such a pretty color. Look at this. Oh, I love it. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm going to put on the Soothing Barrier Balm, just getting about that much, and I'm going to pat that over my cheeks to give that nice dewiness. Ramp this dewiness up even more, which I'm going to do. You can use our multi-sticks, So basically what you do is just put a little bit of this on the temple area. Okay, this particular color is beautiful. It's a really nice cream highlighting color. It's awesome for underneath the eyebrows if you want it. It's great for the temples, the middle of the forehead. Just avoid any areas that you might have large pores or particularly deep wrinkles, because anything with a slight shimmer or highlight to it will make those things look a little bit more deeper. Okay, the reason I'm putting this in the temples is because the temples tend to hollow out as we get older and they can look quite sunken. So this cream highlighter, this multi-sticks or multi-purpose stick, is really not only pretty, giving that radiance to the skin. Look at that, you can see that nice radiance, but it's also going to make my temples look a little bit more puffy. Brow bone, so again, you could use a finger if you wanted to, like this. Just pop it on the other side. See how also using this particular product, it got rid of the rest of that seam that I had there with my eyeshadow. So using a lighter eye color or cream or loose or something like that will also help get rid of that last bit of seam. So don't stress if you're blending your eyes and you're blending and you're blending and you're struggling with that. If you're going with this wet look that I've done today, you'll find that if you don't blend that seam straight away, say for example, you just get distracted and you go and do both eyes instead of one eye at a time, totally fine. For whatever reason, the seam's not blending. You can either go back with your wet brush that you've been using, or your brush that's got the micellar water, go back over it to make it re-wet or re-damp, and then you'll be able to blend it. Either use a finger. If it's still damp and you're doing one eye at a time, you should be able to use, of course, your blending brush, which is this one. All else fails and you just can't get it blended the way you want, use a cream product over the top of it, like our multi-sticks, which is this beautiful color that doubles as an awesome cream highlighter. But this is why I'm using the micellar water mixed with this Coral Radiance, because it locks it down. Not only does it give any color, any blush, any bronzer, serious intensity on your eyes, it gives it that metallic wet look, but it holds it down. So I really want you to have a bit of a play and try out this micellar, mixing it with another color. All right, so what I'm gonna do, just for some really I guess just to really lift my eyes and my brows, is use the Invincible just in the corner, so from my arch out, and just blend, try not to get it into your brow, so you don't want to dull your brows, but just pop it in the corner there, because it's going to give a lift to the eye here. Now, if you've got quite droopy eyes or you've got quite crepey skin, rather than using the Invincible shade, you could opt for something like the base, which is a matte, and it's not got any shimmer in it at all, and it's not going to make this area look puffy or more wrinkly. Okay, so puffy, wrinkly skin, just stick away with anything that's got a shimmer in it. Maybe go with the base eyeshadow. Maybe you could try even the tinted eye primer as a cream nude eyeshadow. That's another option. And again, as I said before, you could definitely use the cream multi-stick highlighter. Even though it's got a slight shimmer in it, it's not that intense. So if you do have that excess eye area or that excess skin, you'll find that you'll still be able to use that. Okay, so what I also like to do with the Invincible eyeshadow is put a little bit above. So I've put it here, and I'm also doing it in the same spot but above the brow. So just there, okay? And you could use a finger again, or you could use one of your thin sort of brushes, but you just want a small amount. And what that's going to do is it's going to create a lift to the brow, okay? Because it's going to help put the focus of any light hitting your skin here and here, which just gives it that nice lift, okay? Now I'm going to put the wind up eyeliner on, and I'm going to smudge this a little bit with a small smudge brush. So if you've been interested in these brushes, the two smudge brushes are really, really good for doing a multitude of things, whether it's for your eyes or for your face. I particularly love smudging my eyeliner, especially as I'm getting older, just to give it a softer look. And especially if you've got excess wrinkles or quite crepey skin, it's hard to get a straight line. So this is definitely going to be for you. All you need to do is put a little bit on the outer corners here. I mean, you could run it the whole way if you wanted to, but I'm just going to show you something really simple and pretty. Put more on than you're probably comfortable with, because we are going to blend it and smudge it out, and then of course it's going to get softer in appearance. So putting on this outer third, again, as I said, more than what you're comfortable with, so you've got some product to blend. And the beauty of using a smudge brush for this as well is that you can also then redirect the way your eyeliner is going, rather than it going downwards, which you can see is giving me a little bit of a droopy eye, even though I've not gone past the edge of my eye. Okay, so you never want to go further down because it will drag the eye down, but you'll see in a minute by me smudging this out and up that it's going to give my eyes a lift as well. Plus, it's not going to look as harsh as this does at the moment with it being a straight line. So here we've got the smudge brush, and I'm just very gently tickling the top seam where you can see that line. Extend it up towards the brow to give a little bit of a wing. We're not going for winged eyeliner, but we're just a little bit of a lift. So see how this eye looks nice and lifted, it looks softer. This one looks quite harsh, okay? So I've just softened this down, and I really want the coral pearl color to stand out, not so much the eyeliner to take over. I really just want the eyeliner there to give some definition and give the illusion of more lashes. Now, if you want your eyelashes to even look more full, you can actually do a line on your wet line, which is basically underneath. So this line here, which is underneath your lashes. Now you don't need to pull your eye up. You can just lift your eyes a little bit and just tickle under the lashes like that. And it just gives a little bit more intensity to the eye. If you wanted to, you can put a little bit at the bottom as well. And we'll use the smudge. Now I just do the outer third. I just feel like doing it the whole way is a bit too much, especially as I'm getting older. Putting it in this outer corner just gives height to the eye rather than the whole way across, which could make the eye look smaller. Again, we'll come back. Now for this one, I'm going to use the larger of the smudge brushes. Curling my lashes, putting mascara on, and then my eyes would be finished. But I'm going to jump off the camera to do that bit. I hate doing my mascara on camera. I always end up poking my eye. But before I go, I'm going to put on my lips, which of course will be the same color as my eyeshadow, as what I've put on my cheeks as well. And here we go, let's pop it on my lips. So what I'm going to do is place a little bit of using the same brush that I had used for my eyeshadow. I'm going to now use it into our Soothing Barrier Balm. Okay, and I'm going to there's a bit of the colour still on there, that's perfect, it's fine. And then I'm going to just get this Soothing Barrier Balm onto my lips first. So the Soothing Barrier Balm, whether it's this full size, whether you get the travel size, or even the Nourishing Lip Glaze, is perfect for putting on the lips first, and then putting any of our loose mineral powders over the top to get whatever colour lip you want. So that's the beauty of the Adorn range, is that it's so multi-purpose, and being toxin free, you can pop it wherever you want. Okay, so now I'm going to dip it back into the Coral Radiance, just tap off any excess, and I'm pressing it onto my lips. Okay, so there is my beautiful Coral Radiance look that I've used for my eyes, lips, and cheeks. Of course, I've used a little bit of the contour. I've used the Invincible and the beautiful multi-sticks in the Cream Mineral Highlighter. Again, you can use this as a bit of a corrector around your eyeshadow. Use it to give dewiness, a luminescence to the skin. You can see that nice shimmer I've got there. Okay, and you can also use this on the cheeks anywhere you want, collarbone, wherever you want to look nice and dewy and healthy.